Hey Levi,
How's it going?
how are you?
Good.
Would you mind telling us about this project? We're currently combining two row houses to make one big row house, and Levi and Carl have been working here for months, right?
Mm-hmm.
When did you guys start?
I'd say maybe in like May, things really started getting going.
So we're in mid-August now, and I think we've got enough. We've got floors to stand on, and we've got enough here that you can start to understand how this project works. So we're here in house one, and you're kind of standing in an opening that used to be the party wall. So tell us how you got to this opening.
Yeah, so we have two houses at two slightly different elevations. We obviously wanted a pass through here. So we worked with our masons, who are awesome, to basically put in this steel beam you see here. It's two angles with wood in between that carries the span of the bricks above. So that was kind of an all hands on deck day, 5 guys to get in each of these. We also put in some other lintels above to support some other openings. And then there's going to be a similar span put in on the level below us that we are waiting until we underpin everything to put that in. And then, yeah, now we use this floor over here as our benchmark, and we pass that through onto this house, which was at a slightly different level.
This house was lower.
Yep. And then on all of the floors above, so we're just now finishing the 3rd floor of the front half of the house. They were all set using this initial set of joists as a benchmark on this side.
Okay. And these are the old joists, right?
Yeah, so those were repurposed to kind of hold these bricks in compression as we were doing structural work in the house. Okay. You can see how old and thick.
Right. That's your bolt. So they're temporary.
They're temporary, yep.
Okay.
And we'll continue to shore that way as we peel back more of the house away from the street.
And you've been working in the front half of these houses. Explain what the advantage of that was in terms of the roof, because soon we're going to knock this wall down and tear the whole back of the house off, right?
Yeah, so Carl likes to say it's like building a ship in a bottle. So part of why we did the approach we did was to support each party wall on each side of the house as we worked our way through this front of the house. And the idea for phase 2 is now that these floors are up and decked, that we can keep the roof on as long as possible. And then when we go to do the rear half of the foundation, we will basically tear down everything on the back half and wait as long as possible to peel up this roof and replace it with the new roof.
Because otherwise we'd have rain coming in here. What's going on over here? Have a little hobbit door.
Had a little hobbit door, so we're discovering lots of pass-throughs that existed from maybe previous iterations of the house. So above, there's also several headers in the brick, but we think this one says a neighbor who actually grew up on the street, that this was so a previous owner could pass through. He owned the house on the other side of this party wall, and so he could have tenants above but still access the basement without notifying them. So yeah, there's lots of like fun little historical things we're discovering.
To this line, we can see the old staircase. So he was kind of going in under the stairs in the neighboring house. So that staircase is obviously gone. This, I believe, is our new stairwell opening.
Yep. So one of the things that the clients had mentioned is they were trying to get away from kind of the shotgun feeling that row homes can have. So they actually lived in this unit, 2027, for many years. And so we're putting in a central staircase oriented, I guess, perpendicular to the entrance.
Okay, so I'll walk up here to a landing turn, come back up, and there again we can see the old staircase where it was along the wall there. So we've got the old floor joists here, and your new floors, and the 3rd floor is starting to take shape. You mentioned underpinning, so we're gonna have a finished basement. What does the underpinning do for us?
So part of what it's getting is additional depth. So we will be bringing down the floors in the basement. There's actually going to be a feeder, so in that portion of the house, it'll go down even further. And so to do that, we have to gradually take apart like chunks of the existing floor and then re-pour a new foundation wall in kind of a phased approach that gets very heavily inspected to make sure that we aren't disrupting the foundations of the adjacent properties.
Because this foundation where it kind of jumps out here, that probably doesn't go much past that basement slab. That's also holding up our neighbor's house. So if we want to go lower, we need to make sure we're reinforcing this carefully before we dig.